that there will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people.
Stop playing with us. Hey, all that DEI goofiness you talking about, man, stop playing. Give us our props. Stop messing with our history. The more you erase, the more we replace. I don't get why they so mad at us. Somebody said, why I got to be black excellence? Why not? Why not? Why can't I show these young black kids, girls, and guys a different side? Perception is everything. Showing these kids a different perception. How great is that? You know what's crazy? When Barack Obama became president, people were like, policy. I said, oh, whatever. You know what he did for me? He changed my perception. Because when I would travel the world had a certain perception of me as a black man. But when they saw, and if there's any indication that America is not the most incredible country in the world, and he came up in there with that suit, fly, you feel me? I felt good, and everybody felt good because they love what we do. I know y'all out there bullshitting right now, but y'all love us. Y'all love our music, and if y'all talking about DEI, then give some of our stuff back, like our R&B. Stop playing with us. Stop singing like us. Stop dancing like us. Give us our shit back. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But I would like to say what scares us is I think we hear violence.
The young lady said she's afraid of violence. And isn't it sad that we who have been the victims of so much violence, now whites fear violence from us? We do not have a history of killing white people. White people have a history of killing us. See? And what you fear, may I say this, sir? What you fear, and it's a deep guilt thing that white folks suffer. You are afraid that if we ever come to power, we will do to you and your fathers what you and your people have done to us. And I think you are judging us by the state of your own mind, and that is not necessarily the mind.
Listen, every time black excellency rises, somebody out there starts shaking. And it's not because we are doing anything wrong, it is because we are doing everything right. The world is finally seeing our brilliance, our innovation, our influence, and our power in real time. And some folks, they cannot handle it. They were comfortable as long as we stayed quiet, broken, divided, or underestimated. But the moment black people start succeeding, suddenly it's a crisis. But let me tell you something. The problem is not our excellence. The problem is that their old narrative cannot survive the truth. So today we are breaking down why our success shakes the room, why some folks are losing their mind over black excellence, and what this moment actually means for the future of black people. So buckle up, because this one can make some of y'all uncomfortable. And that is exactly why we're talking about it. Let's get into the video.
I went to Harvard Law School. I've got a lot of degrees and awards. I've won cases at the U.S. Supreme Court, and I've been in courtrooms representing clients, getting there early, sitting at defense counsel's table, where the judge will walk in and immediately get mad at me. The judge will look at me and say, hey, you get back out there in the hallway. I don't want any defendants sitting in my courtroom without their lawyer. And I have to stand up and say, well, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I am the lawyer. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Brian Stevenson. I have to try to de-escalate this situation. And I was doing that recently. I was in a courtroom in the Midwest, and the judge started laughing, but it wasn't an apologetic laugh. And it kind of angered me. And the prosecutor started laughing. They thought it was so funny. And I was sitting there getting angry. And then I thought, oh no, Brian, you can't get angry. You need to smile.
Katherine Johnson was the woman that figured out the math, yes, to get men to the moon and back. There was 1,000 white dudes at NASA, couldn't figure it out. This black...
You wouldn't have a fire escape ladder if it wasn't for a black man named George Winton. You wouldn't have a fountain pen if it wasn't for a black man named Purvis. The next time you stop at that 3-light traffic light, a black man made that, Garrett Morgan. You wouldn't have a refrigerator in your house if it wasn't for a black man named Frederick Jones. The next time your loved one needs a blood transfusion, there wouldn't be a blood bank if it wasn't for Dr. Charles Drew. I don't want to leave you women out. If you ever had laser cataract surgery, you better thank God for a black woman named Patricia Bath. How many of y'all got an alarm system in your house? You better thank God for a home security system. A black woman created that, Mary Van Brown. We are experiencing at every level of government who are self-absorbed, self-centered, self-orientated, self-preoccupied, self-seeking, self-serving, self-infatuated, egotistical maniacs. And we got to be strong and courageous. What sense does it make to have a $45 million march in Washington and then talking about taking away Medicaid from poor and struggling families? We cannot be chained by fear and hate. And we need fathers. We need fathers who will stand up and fight.
If you thought that being white was being smart, then that means that being black is being what? You see, before 1954, we didn't act this way. Being black meant being the best. In every area that we've been allowed to participate in, we've always been the best. So in science, was Imhotep or Granville Woods or Lewis Latimer or George Washington Carver? We're talking about black excellence. If it's in business, we have strong men and women there as well. Reginald Lewis or John Johnson at Ebony Magazine. In education, Carter G. Woodson, Benjamin Mays, and Mary Petrell. You name the area, we've been good at it. What about in the movies? Who has the greatest box office attraction? Eddie Murphy. What about sports? Who's the best basketball player? Michael Jordan. Who hit more home runs than anybody in baseball, including more than Babe Ruth? Hank Aaron. Whatever the area is, science, business, writing, music, TV, movies, you name the area. All we've ever needed was the opportunity.
I have a theory about why black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good about it. It was internalized racism, but I didn't know that yet. So I had to sit with this idea of her being better than me and trying to figure out why it didn't feel good and feel comfortable for me. And of course, at the time, I didn't know that I needed to do the work of anti-racism, so I didn't think it was possibly because I could have internalized racism. I had to do a lot of study and thought about myself and what could possibly be making me feel this way about this woman. And here's what I discovered. Most of the media that I had consumed up to that point in my life had white people as the central characters. And the shows and other media that I consumed that had white women at the central characters often had black women as the side characters. These black women's role in these movies was to assist the white women, support the white women, advise the white women, but never to rise above the white women. Even shows that were about black women, like The Help, had white women as the central character and the black women as supporting characters. So I internalized the idea that black women were there to support me and to advise me, but not to rise above or become better than me. And that's why when this black teacher was way better and more talented than me, I felt some kind of way about it. Now, I'd imagine lots and lots more white women have also internalized the same idea, and that's why they feel okay stealing black women's content and not giving them any credit, because the black women are just there to advise them anyway. But most black women are natural leaders. Society has forced them to become leaders. And so we need to step aside and let them lead. even if it means checking our privilege and letting them lead us.
Is our deepest fear that we are inadequate? Or is our deepest fear that Black excellence is powerful beyond measure? It is their light, not their darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who are they to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are they not to be? Look honestly, and you will see how they demonstrate love as a reflection of our unwarranted hate. Our playing God does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about positioning ourselves and controlling the narrative so that Black and brown folks feel insecure around us. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of the Spirit that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in all of us, no matter what your skin tone is. And as we let our own light shine, by atoning for and repairing the harm of our ways, as we learn to serve and see the true greatness of Aboriginal and Indigenous cultures and human beings around us, we unconsciously give white people around the planet the permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. From this point, we can build a new world that is connected to the planet and each other. Together, humanity is achievable.
I really want you guys to understand that time is running out. And a lot of Black people say that, but for real. Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that Black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone. You're approaching a country that, forget hating Black people or not hating Black people, they just don't care. You can be talking about affirmative action, they can be like, I don't care. It literally is of no importance to me. I don't care about slavery, I don't care about segregation, I don't care about you, I don't care how many of you all go to jail, I don't care at all, because I'm broke. You can't be the proud, noble fighter when every single time someone sees a person that looks like you on television, they're acting like a damn fool. How would they know? How would they know you're not a damn fool? They're gonna talk to you? Yeah.
When someone says Black excellence, it's used to refer to the success of someone that's Black in a space that's traditionally not been open to Black people. So for example, as late as 1959, African Americans were turned away from medical school simply because of their race. That's only 60 years. That could be your parents' or your grandparents' generation. Even today, the number of Black physicians is less than 6%, compared to 15% of the US population. That means that there's still barriers for students of color wanting to enter into STEM careers. Black excellence is not excellence because you're Black. It's succeeding in spite of the fact that historically, these spaces have kept Black people out of them. And it's important to highlight Black excellence so that people who have often not seen themselves in these spaces realize that they belong there too, and we can begin to change the narrative.
Child, y'all better pay attention to what's happening right now. Cracker Barrel, struggling. Target, struggling. Hospitals, shutting down. Why? Because the white dollar by itself won't keep these companies afloat. And while they play DEI, baby, they need our talent, ingenuity, and brilliance. And when Black folks start pulling back their talent, their time, child, struggling. And we already seen what happened to Target. And when we start pulling our money back, baby, they gonna find out. See, what some white folks don't understand is this. Black people are a gift. Our ingenuity, our creativity, our brilliance. It's been the lifeline of this country. We've poured into it, even when this country gave us nothing in return. And let's not forget our buying power. Our buying power hit over $1.7 trillion in 2023. Baby, that's not pocket change. That's why we see these corporations chase us when they need us. But the second they're done, baby, they toss us to the side. And that's why I don't care if Cracker Barrel puts a poster of Barack Obama up. Baby, I'm still not eating there. And I don't care if Carnival Cruises comes crawling back talking about we love diversity. I see the game. I won't be back. And Target, let me be real clear. The last time I stepped foot in that store was the last time. Period. Y'all don't get to play in our faces. Use us when it's convenient, then toss us aside. Not anymore. Because above all, this country understands the dollar sign. And it's time we start reserving ours for us. That's why I keep saying Black love, Black unity, Black strategy, Black community. Because, baby, we need to build our own infrastructures from soup to nuts so we won't be out here begging for a seat at their table anymore. Baby, those days are over. So if that resonates with you, join the movement. Baby, everybody won't get it. And that's fine. But those that do, we're still building. So drink your water. Stay rooted, real, and knowledgeable. And mind your Black business. Happy Black History 365.
Bitch, I thought you knew. I thought you knew that the reason your coworkers hate you and your supervisor has turned against you is because you're fucking them up. Code for traumatizing them. When you overperform, outperform, solve problems that they haven't even yet identified, you make people look incompetent. You make them look mediocre and unqualified for the job. And if you look like us, that's risky business. So once they figure that out, they're not going to flee or fawn. They're going to fight, which means fight for their survival so they can sustain their position and continue to hold on to their job. So when they fight for survival, that means your ass got to go. You know, they're going to try to demean you, discredit you, make you look unprofessional, mob you, give you the silent treatment. They're not playing. Why? Because they're fighting for their life. Their trauma response is to fight. So I needed you to understand that it's not just that you're making them feel bad, you're fucking them up. You're traumatizing them. And they have only one legitimate response, which is to get rid of you. I hope you understand that better now. Their trauma response is to treat you bad, to make you feel wrong, to make you feel incompetent and insufficient so that either you will leave or they will set you up to fire you. And that's the only legitimate response to have to trauma. You need to think about your response to their trauma response. And that's what my posts have been all about.
White people need to learn how to challenge authority instead of challenging minorities. Okay, now wait, listen. White people have this innate need every time there's a Black person, Latino person, Arab person, person of color who says something that they either disagree with or feel like they disagree with or feel like they are the anomaly outside of that group of things that the person of color is talking about. They're just like, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong. Or what about this? Or what about me? Or how about this? But I'm just like, y'all have all this energy towards a minority who says something that you don't like, but when it comes to an authority figure that you don't like and they say something wrong, well, it's just like, oh, it's fine, or oh, they didn't mean it, or oh, I'm sure they were saying something else, or oh, just ignore that altogether, or oh, I have no power to change that, or oh, I don't know. It's just like, what do you, it's just like all these, y'all get every excuse in the book for an authority figure. But when it comes to a minority, you're listen, don't take this wrong, but like this is why the word Karen came to be. It was birthed out of white people, white women specifically, feeling like they need to exert their authority authority over people of color. And that's what it is. It's like, I feel like white people, they have, and I heard this from White Woman Whisperer. She was talking about how white people have authority. Like they always feel like they're the father to the father or an authority figure to the authority figure. And they feel like inherently in their hearts that they are an authority figure to people of color. And so they feel like they have this divine right to correct people of color whenever they feel like a person of color is wrong or needs correcting. But they feel like because there's always this hierarchy in life, that whenever someone that they deem as above them, their parents or their grandparents or the police or the government or God, that is telling them to do something that they don't believe in, or that they do something that they think is wrong, they still have to do it because they cannot challenge authority. And that's why they also get so upset when people of color push back on them, because inside of them, they see that as someone who is in a position of less authority pushing back on them, the authority. Are y'all listening? White people, y'all don't know it, but you have this inherent feeling inside of you that you are a authority figure to people of color. Like, that has been ingrained in you all since the reception of the United States of America, is that white people are the authority over people of color. Like, that y'all have always been placed on top, and from a political, financial, economic, like social standpoint, you all have always been placed legally, literally legally given the authority over people of color. And that culture has never went away. It has went away on paper, mostly, kinda, but in practice and in reality, it never went away. And so a lot of you have in your minds, even though you don't know you have it in your minds, but you have it in your minds that what you think and what you feel and what you have to say is more important or more authoritative than the person of color who is speaking, because you are. Because you do, because it is. Like, whatever you have to say, you just genuinely with all your heart feel like it is more important or more legitimate than a person of color. And that, I'm not gonna lie, pisses me off. It pisses me off because, like, I talk about racism a lot on the page, and so the amount of white people who come into my page, especially this, I'm never gonna forget this post I made about blonde hair being racist, and every single white woman in all of America came into my page to tell me I'm wrong. And I'm just like, how can you as a white person tell me as a black person who has studied history, studied racism, studied socialism, studied public health, studied population, studied all these things through the lens of racism? How are you gonna come and tell me that I am wrong about racism? Someone who has experienced racism, a black woman who has experienced racism on many, many occasions in her life, overtly, covertly, and any other kind of way, you're gonna tell me you know more about racism than me. And so, and the excuse is that they feel like I don't know about what they like. Like, you're just like, oh, I like blonde hair because blonde hair is, I just prefer that. I just prefer my hair lighter. And it's just like, but when I ask them, why do you prefer that? Where did that belief that blonde hair is more pretty or more beautiful, where did that belief come from? They're just like, it just is. You don't question your thoughts. Don't question your beliefs. Don't question where a preference came from. You're thinking too deep. Now you're too woke. Now you're too woke. Now I'm the woke friend. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna just leave that there. I'm a little traumatized from that post, not gonna lie. But that is what it is white people love challenging minorities, but they cannot for the life of them challenge authority.
The more I watch videos like this one, the more I realize something that a lot of people in America are afraid to admit. Black excellency is not just talent, it is transformation. Every time a black person breaks through a barrier, it exposes a truth that many people were taught to ignore. That we were never the problem, that we were always the power, and that power, when it shows up, shakes the people who depended on us staying silent, confused, and underestimated. But what you are seeing right now in this generation is not just black people succeeding. It is black people succeeding loudly, confidently, in places we were never supposed to exist. And that is the part that triggers the panic. Because for so long, the story of America was built on an idea that one group was naturally superior. And if you believe that you are naturally on the top, you don't expect people you oppressed to outthink you, outwork you, outperform you, and outshine you. But here we are. That is why we are seeing a strange mix of discomfort, denial, and obsession around black achievements. Some people don't know whether to imitate us, fear us, erase us, or depend on us. And a lot of frustration you are seeing in the society right now is coming from the folks who are seeing their old narratives far apart. Their identity was built on being the standard, the default, the normal. And when black excellency walks in, it challenges that entire identity, not by violence, not by force, but by simply being brilliant. Let's be honest, it's not just about the skin color, it's about the power. It's about who gets to be the authority, who gets to be believed, who gets to be respected without having to prove anything. Black people have had to earn every inch of dignity, every opportunity, every acknowledgement, even when we were the one building the very system that were shutting us up. And that creates a tension, because when the truth finally starts coming out, it exposes how deep the lies were. You see it, especially in places like the workplace. When a black person is excellent, it doesn't just make people uncomfortable, it makes them question themselves. And some folks would rather tear down their own black colleague than confront their own insecurity. They will dress it up as professionalism, not a good fit, or too confident. But underneath it, it is fear of being replaced, fear of being exposed, the fear of losing the privilege which they didn't even know that they depended on. And then there is the history part. When you look at how much black people have invented, created, discovered, and transformed, it becomes obvious why so much of that history gets erased or minimized. If the world knew how much of the modern world comes from the black minds, that whole superiority complex would collapse. So instead of teaching the truth, the system spends decades pretending like our contribution was small, accidental, or non-existent. But now the information is available everywhere. People can't hide from it anymore. And that is why you are seeing all of this anger, denial, and confusion. Because the truth always makes somebody uncomfortable. But what really scares people is not black people's past. It is our future. It is a fact that many black folks are now connecting dots. We are understanding our economic power. We are realizing our cultural influence. We are recognizing that unity is not some slogans. We are recognizing that unity is not some motivational slogans. It is a strategy. And when a community of trillions of dollars in buying power starts paying attention to where their money, their votes, their talent, and their support goes, the whole landscape shifts. You can already see it. Corporations panic when black consumers pull back. Schools panic when black students demand representation. Politicians panic when black voters change direction. Society panic when black people stop asking, "Do you accept me?" That's the real source of the fear. And start asking, "Do I even need you anymore?" When black people learn who they are, stop apologizing for it, and stop waiting for the permission to shine, the entire balance of power changes. Some people celebrate that, and some people panic. But either way, the shift is happening. At the end of the day, black excellence is not a threat. It is a mirror. It forces the society to look at its lies, its insecurities, its hypocrisy. It shows what is possible when people rises above obstacles that were designed to break them. And that reflection is uncomfortable for anyone who built their identity on an idea that they were automatically superior. So if you see people getting emotional, angry, offended, or confused wherever black excellence is celebrated, just know this: you are watching a system lose control, and you are watching black people step into power that was always there, even when the world pretended not to see it. That was it for today. Make sure you tell me down there in the comment section what you think. If you've got any idea, addition, write it down there in the comment section. So that was it. Mr. TA signing off. Ciao.